I'm here to tell you everything that you need to know to eat better and healthier in 2025. Maybe 2024 wasn't really the year for you. Maybe you tried to eat better this year and you just found yourself hopping on and off diets that didn't seem to last very long. Or maybe you ended up completing a challenge like 75 hard and completed those days, but you still can't seem to stick to a health routine. Well, maybe it's not you, and maybe it's actually the diet that's the problem. And don't get me wrong, following these diets or challenges, there is some good to them. It helps develop some structure and kind of food awareness, but at the same time, for some people, it might develop in some disordered eating habits that isn't great for you long term and really damages your relationship with food. And believe me, I get it. Nutrition information online is so confusing and it can get very overwhelming when you're having someone tell you to do one thing and someone else tell you to not do that. So maybe your current health routine and habits aren't really serving you well. Well, I'm glad you clicked on this video because I am going to help you eat better, which in turn can improve your mental and physical health. But I want to tell you an alternative path that doesn't involve dieting, restricting, or tedious counting calories. This video is going to be for anyone who's looking to become a more balanced and mindful eater. So whether you're coming from a background of disordered eating and want just a more non-restrictive path to health, or you're just a complete newbie and heard about all the diet talk and how they're not sustainable and want a way to eat better and feel better about your health, I'm going to be sharing 8 steps, which is a general overview of how you can eat healthier in 2025 in a healthier way. And if you don't know me, I am Charissa. I am a registered dietitian and I've been helping women make peace with their relationship with food and find a healthy balance that's realistic for them. And I personally had a roller coaster relationship with food, and I'm always striving to help people find that balance. So let's get into it. The first thing you need to do to eat better in 2025 is to identify where you're at and where you want to be. What do you want to accomplish this year? What is success to you? Are you willing to do extremes to get to that point of success? Are your goals realistic for you right now? Are they sustainable? What have you done in the past and why didn't that work out for you? And I want you to answer these questions because it really puts into perspective what it is that you want to accomplish this year. So you're setting clear goals for yourself and really evaluating them and seeing if these are even realistic or attainable for you, or if you're willing to sacrifice a few things to get to that point. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's so many times that I have seen people make these crazy goals of like wanting to lose a whole bunch of weight in a short amount of time, and it's just downright unrealistic. So they have to go to extreme measures of eating extremely low calorie, and that kind of sends them on a food spiral of them constantly thinking about food, not nourishing their body well enough, losing lean body mass because the deficit is so low. And so it just is overall set up for you to fail. So I really want you to think about where you're at, meet yourself there, and think about a long-term strategy for your health versus just a quick little 45-day, 30-day fix for you. And really it comes down to 2 approaches, and one is dieting and the other one is nourishment. So which side would you want to be on? Second of all, you need to understand some fundamentals of nutrition. We're really not taught this in school ever. And there's a lot of course that goes into this. I mean, there are people that get their master's and PhD in nutritional sciences. So there's so many layers to this, but I hope I am here to clear some of that general information for you. But if you wanted to go really deep on each principle that I talk about, I do have specific videos on my channel that can help you out. But first, you really need to make sure you're getting enough calories. Our bodies need calories to survive, period. And calories are in food. Now, our bodies don't just use calories whenever we're working out or moving our bodies. Our body literally burns calories when we are completely still by breathing, your heart beating, your brain function. So baseline, everyone, even if you're not moving a single ounce of muscle in your body, you need food and calories to survive and function. Whatever your goal is with your weight, you definitely do need to figure out what your maintenance calories are, which is the calories that you need in a day to maintain your current weight. So baseline, I definitely want you to understand how many calories you need in a day and kind of hit that range for you. So whether your goal is to just improve overall health and you don't really have any weight goals that you set for yourself, I would definitely look to see where your maintenance calories is and kind of go from there as a baseline range. And you can do this by going online and searching for calorie calculators. I will link one below that I think is from a trusted source. And you can even input activity level as well, because that's also going to have a role in distinguishing how many calories you need in a day. But say you are looking to lose weight, you're definitely going to want to take your maintenance calories and subtract around 300 calories from that to be in a calorie deficit for you to lose weight. Same thing for gain weight. You want to have a caloric surplus or eat more than your maintenance calories in order for you to gain weight. Once you know how many calories you need in a day, you can kind of figure out, okay, what kind of foods are we going to put on our plate to get to that number, right? And you don't have to be too tedious about this, but in general, your plate should be balanced with macronutrients in order to keep you nourished and feel full and satisfied with your meals. The macronutrients in food are protein, carbs, and fat. We really need these nutrients in big quantities to help us thrive. And it is important to know that we do need every one of these macronutrients, because every macronutrient does play a role in our health. Carbs really is our preferred body and brain source of energy. It can be used strategically through simple carbs to give you that quick burning energy to help you power through a workout or give you that boost of energy that you need. Or it could be complex carbs that have a little bit more fiber and nutrients that help stabilize your energy levels and keep you kind of more steady throughout the day. Protein, we all know about the protein craze. Everyone is loving protein now, and I feel like every company is just shoving down protein stuff in their products. But we all know protein's really great. It helps keep us full and satisfied. It helps promote muscle synthesis. It helps with immunity. There's so many great benefits to protein, and as well as fats. We do still need fats in our diet, and that helps with our hormones, our satiety, and helps us absorb our fat-soluble vitamins. And all food is made up of these macronutrients. Now, just because all food is comprised of macronutrients, some foods are a little bit more nutrient dense than others, which are the foods that we should be prioritizing in our diet on a daily basis. So these are your whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts and legumes, beans, proteins, healthy fats. These types of foods really offer a dense form of nutrition and components that may be helpful in promoting health and fighting off diseases later on. But we are living in an age where everything is very convenient and accessible, so we can get calories and food from very convenient sources that tend to be more processed, and generally speaking, these foods are a little bit higher in nutrients that we don't need as much of, and it's very easy for us to overeat and indulge on. So we really want to be mindful about the amount that we're eating, because it can really add up and get to a portion that kind of doesn't do us much good as far as our health and how we feel. Not saying that we can never have these foods ever, and if you eat one, then that's automatically gonna make you fat or sick. It's just that if we consistently eat these, and this makes up the majority of our diet, you just know we're not gonna feel good, and we're gonna experience some changes to our health and body that we're probably not gonna like, and it'll probably impact your quality of life. So to make sure you're kind of on track with eating healthful foods without being too restrictive or tracking calories or being too tedious with numbers, I like to use my balanced plate method. So it's about half your plate being fruits or vegetables or any type of color, because that's going to provide you a lot of fiber and micronutrients that are supportive of your health and metabolism, and about a quarter or a third of your plate being proteins, and that kind of just ranges on how much protein that you want to get in a day, and about another quarter or a third of your plate being starchier carbs to kind of increase that satisfaction. And of course, even though the plate doesn't have a distinction of fats in there, fats are also still really important to include in your plate. So whether that be from oils that you use to cook the foods in, or actual forms of fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, nut butters, stuff like that to incorporate in your plates. And I want to point out that a balanced plate does not have to fit the stereotypical chicken, broccoli, and rice format. You can really change this up and get creative with it, like even if you have like a lasagna, for example, you have your carbs from the noodles, you have your protein by adding in some lean ground beef or ground turkey or ground chicken or cheese, and adding in some maybe even cottage cheese for a little bit more of a protein boost, and having some sort of vegetable, whether that be the tomato sauce or adding more vegetables like having a layer of zucchini or eggplant or spinach in there, just to kind of balance out those macronutrients, balance out that plate, is all great ideas that you should be kind of actively being curious about and experimenting with your taste profile and food preferences and access to food in your own home. So always try to think about, okay, like what is missing on this plate and what can I add to make it more balanced? And I really want to stress that cultural food is totally okay to do this too. Like, I come from a Filipino household, and truthfully, some of our dishes aren't as balanced as, you know, the dietitian in me would hope so. So I do try to actively add in what's missing. So for example, like I made chicken adobo the other day. I would typically have that, you know, with rice and that's it. But I kind of made myself some side of cauliflower to kind of beef up the volume and nutrition of the overall meal. And I generally enjoy cauliflower, so that's just why I chose that vegetable, but you could have chosen any other vegetable that you like in this scenario. I also want you to think about how you can take your cultural foods and make it more health promoting for you. And also, a lot of the times these cultural foods are very health promoting, and don't let that discourage you. Like, if you wanted to eat healthier, know that you can absolutely take the foods that you already eat and kind of tweak and make some substitutions in order to fit your health goals. And lastly, for the principles of nutrition, I want you to think about hydration, okay? So there's a lot of myths surrounding hydration and how much water you should be drinking a day, but a good ballpark is half your body weight in fluid ounces. Now, don't feel like you have to be chugging so many glasses of water to reach that. Food also contains water and contributes to our overall hydration levels. So some foods are more hydrating and have more water content in them, and others don't have as much, but they also count towards your hydration goals, as well as, you know, teas, juices, soups, broths, etc. But I do want you to prioritize getting hydration from unsweetened choices, just so we can kind of monitor and be mindful of our added sugar intake. And a good indicator to see if you are staying well hydrated is honestly your pee. So your kidneys do a really great job in kind of telling you and giving you signs of how well you're staying hydrated. And what a lot of people think of as they want clear pee, and they're like, okay, well, I'm super hydrated, I'm doing super well. Well, that is actually a sign that you are overhydrated. So you actually want to look for a pale yellow color of your urine. And of course, the darker, the more orange color your urine is, the more concentrated your urine is. So meaning you kind of do want to get some hydration in. Third step is meal planning and grocery shopping. So this is taking everything that we've learned. We learned about calories, we learned how to make our plate balanced. Now we need to actually get the food from the store and put it on our plate and cook it at home. So you need to have a flexible plan in place. Not a rigid plan, but a flexible plan. Because truly, there's nothing worse than spending all this money at the grocery store and not cooking any of it when you get home, and your food just rots in the fridge, and you basically paid the rent for your food to sit in your fridge, and you aren't getting the full benefits of cooking at home. So I want you to really have a flexible plan ahead of what you need to get at the store, what meals you're going to make throughout the week, and develop the times that you're actually going to cook these meals. And how I like to meal plan is I always like to ask myself if I'm craving anything in specific. So you can take what you're craving and add balance to that in order to make really healthful meals throughout the week. And it's still the same philosophy as the balanced plate method. So say I am craving spaghetti this week, you know, how am I going to make that as balanced as possible, right? Noodles give you your carbs. I'm gonna have a meat sauce, so that's gonna have some protein and a little bit of color. And I am really craving something fresh and crisp, so I will have a side salad with that, and that'll be my vegetables and color there. So what I do on my phone, I have a note that literally says grocery list, and I put the meals that I want to eat during the week, and then underneath I put all the ingredients that I need for that dish, even if I have it on hand or if I don't have it on hand. I just create a list. I assess the list and see, okay, is this meal balanced? Should I add some more stuff to kind of balance it out, and tweak the list from there? And then I check off things that I already have in my fridge that I can use up, and that just makes groceries so much easier because I know exactly what I need to get. I know exactly what I'm gonna make with it, so it just decreases food waste in the fridge in general, and it just kind of gets me excited for what is to come throughout the week. I don't know about you, but I actually like love eating good foods if I know I'm cooking it and I'm gonna make it in a way that looks good to me and it has all the flavors that I love, and I know that it's also healthy for me. Honey, it's a win-win. I'm excited. And so it really helps motivate me. And I really want you to rely on convenience food whenever you need. So realistically, you know, if we had all the time in the world to cook healthy and everything from scratch, channeling our Nara Smith, you know, it would be so much easier to eat healthier. But also at the same time, like, you don't need to make everything from scratch in order to eat healthy. You can rely on convenience items to make that process way easier for you. So say you're not a fan of chopping vegetables, or you're really limited on prep time this week, get those pre-chopped vegetables. It'll make it so much easier for you to actually just pop them in a stir fry or eat them with some hummus. Just make it so much easier for yourself and decrease those barriers in order for you to get the nutrients that you actually need. At the end of the day, you are still nourishing yourself, and you don't need to feel guilty that you're not getting the most helpful option every single time. And this is also a strategy that I teach in my Balanced Body Project community, which I will talk more on at the end of this video. The fourth thing that you need to know is how to listen to your body. Now, I know that term gets thrown around a lot, and people are really like thinking like, how do you listen to your body? Like my body, every time I listen to it, I just want to eat chips and queso all day. I get that. And I hear you, because I know it kind of sounds confusing and like people don't understand what it really means to listen to your body, because we honestly, I truly believe this, we were never ever taught how to do this, and this is now a new skill bringing up that really is one of the most, if not the most important skill that I love to touch on, because it transforms relationship with food for the better and just really changes the game in terms of healthy eating. Learning to listen to your hunger cues helps you know when to start and stop eating in the most perfect portion for you and your body. Now, I always say like we do have a set calorie range in order for us to maintain or lose or gain weight, but at the end of the day, we are human and we really do fluctuate in how many calories we burn daily. Not by a big extent, but some days we do burn more calories than others, and some days we don't burn as much calories, and that could be a wide range of factors, like how much we are moving our bodies, how much we're fidgeting, so many different factors. But at the end of the day, once you are developing a good relationship with food and you're nourishing your body and you're giving it enough food for it to regulate itself and send you signals correctly, you need to learn how to listen to it and listen to these signals in order for you to start and stop eating at a comfortable spot. So this really helps people that struggle with overeating, binging, and I love it. This has really worked wonders for me and my clients. And in order to learn more about your hunger cues, I like to use the hunger fullness scale. And it's basically a scale that's 1 to 10, 10 being like you are so stuffed, you feel like you're about to explode, and 1 being like you're so hungry, you feel like you're withering away and you're starting to get lightheaded and faint. This is a scale for you to kind of help you distinguish and assess where your hunger levels are at. I like to tell people to always check in with themselves using this scale before, during, and after your meals to kind of see where you lie. And the sweet spot is to stay within the 4 to 7, sometimes 8 range. And that will be really where you can add structure and a baseline to how much food that you should be eating. And I love this technique because you really can have the freedom to get more food if you're not quite at that 7-8 range, or you can even stop eating, still having food on your plate if you already reached that point. And it really helps you to really assess where you're feeling at versus like, oh, I'm on a mission to finish this, or, you know, I'm too scared to get leftovers. So it kind of helps you reconnect with your body in that way and really helps you become a more mindful eater. Now, I feel like sometimes it's hard to check in with your body and listen to your hunger cues when you are distracted by so many things, whether it be like even eating out at a restaurant with your friends or family, or you're answering work emails, or you're watching a show. As much as I love to watch a show while I snack on something or eat dinner, I've gotten to a point where I feel very effortless as far as stopping eating when I feel full without going too overboard, even with distractions. So if you are new to this and you struggle with constantly overeating overindulging more than you would like, I would really highly recommend really sitting down with yourself by yourself, no distractions, put away your phone, and literally just pay attention to your meal, pay attention to your food, notice everything, and make it a more mindful eating experience. Check in with yourself before, during, and after the meal. Ask yourself, oh, is this food good? How are my hunger levels on the hunger fullness scale? What textures am I noticing? What color am I noticing on the plate? Like, is it crunchy? Is it smooth and creamy? Like, what flavors am I tasting right now? And really engage yourself and like kind of have a date with yourself and learn more about how your body reacts to even one bite, 2 bites, 3 bites. Like, wow, am I actually kind of feeling full and satisfied? Can I stop now? So I definitely recommend to practice this if you're new in a more mindfully and non-distracting environment. But I promise you, once you do this, even like once, twice, 3 times, you kind of already have that mindset and it'll feel really effortless later on. The 5th step I want to highlight is you need to learn how to manage your cravings and emotional eating. So if you didn't already watch my other video about cravings and binges, go ahead and watch that. It actually did really well and I'm super happy that it helped a lot of people. Same principle goes there from that video, and this is my take on how you should manage cravings and emotional eating. Instead of feeling like you are such a bad person or you're losing this battle with health with cravings, I want you to realize that cravings are so normal. Like, we're human and there's so many factors that influence you getting a craving. You could walk down the street and smell a bakery and you can get a craving to get a pastry. You can watch a food commercial on TV and want a craving for McDonald's. You could be on your period and get a craving. You could not be eating enough and you can get a craving. You could be sleeping poorly and not getting enough sleep and you will get cravings. So there's so many different reasons why you are getting cravings, and you can figure out triggers your cravings, and sometimes it could be different, sometimes it could be the same answer, but ultimately you need to know what to do to rationalize with yourself and figure out, okay, should I give into this craving or should I not give into this craving? Because it is a different answer every time, and the best answer is something that you have to answer for yourself. So say that you are thinking of indulging in a craving that you're having. So let's just say chips. I want you to always think again about the balanced plate. How can we add balance to this, right? Chips, the non-healthified chips, just your basic like potato chip, doesn't have a lot of fiber, it doesn't have a lot of protein, which are both the nutrients that are going to help you feel full and satisfied. And since it doesn't have those nutrients, it's really easy to overeat and just finish a whole bag and still feel like you didn't really eat anything, but there is still that underlying, I don't really feel as great. Like, trust me, I have had days where I have eaten a whole family-sized bag of chips, and that was like back in my like younger binging days, and I still didn't feel full, but that was like I consumed probably almost 1,500 calories there, and I still didn't feel great. I kind of felt lethargic and kind of out of it and groggy and bloated. So just think of ways that you can add balance to that. So I love now having chips with a protein. So I'll have like maybe a slice of cheese or some edamame or a snack that has a higher protein content, or carrots and hummus and some sort of fiber bar in there, or a protein shake, just to kind of help balance it out and kind of make me feel full before I eat too much. So again, it's all about balancing what you crave and what you need. And if you're struggling with cravings, I do have a free cravings roadmap that I would love for you to have in your inbox and at your hand, so that you know exactly what to do when you do get a craving and how you can rationalize with yourself with my easy process of when to figure out if you should indulge or if you shouldn't indulge. It also shares really great strategies about emotional eating that I have touched on in previous videos, but you can also get that resource in my free cravings roadmap, and the link to get it is in the description box below. So if you've liked every tip in this video, now we have 3 more steps left, but if you've already gone through the first 5 steps and realized, wow, like I really like your philosophy, I really need to work on this for myself, and I kind of want accountability and want other people to share fun recipe inspirations to kind of help you on your journey for making peace with food and creating a healthy balance for you, I have created a new community that I'm so excited about. It is called the Balanced Body Project, and it is an amazing community full of supportive women working towards the same goal. And research has shown time and time again that if you are surrounded by people that are uplifting and working towards the same goal as you, and you are on kind of like a one-track mind, you will have a better outcome and reach your goals way more faster, and it'll just be fun doing it. So I created this community because I know a lot of women struggle with maybe a history of disordered eating, or they just don't know how to eat balanced and take care of themselves. So I created this as a way to have a safe space for people to share recipe ideas, and I have monthly challenges that will help you reach your wellness goals, and you also get prizes if you win those challenges, and the prizes are really good, let me tell you. So they'll range from either free personalized meal plans from me, grocery gift cards to help you, get your grocery, because I know the bills be crazy in this economy. So I just want to help decrease any barriers and help you achieve your goals and help you feel your best. I also host live calls, whether that be cooking classes, nutrition education videos on like hot topics of, what does the research really say about this? And how can you apply these principles in your life? And it's just a really awesome community, and I literally, all the women in there are so uplifting. It's insane, and I'm like the luckiest girl in the world. So go ahead and join now. I promise you, it'll be the best thing. Or, get it for a present for someone that is struggling with food and you want to just help them on their journey. Now, the last 3 tips I want to share aren't necessarily food related, but does impact your eating habits if you are doing it poorly. Your sleep. Getting enough and good quality sleep is one of the best things that you can do for your overall health. When you do sleep, you're giving yourself the time for your body to heal and recover, and this can impact your health in several ways. Helps improve your immune system, helps people maintain a healthy weight, and this is a huge one, it helps regulate your hunger hormones. A little bit ago in the video when I said if you don't get enough sleep you'll get a craving, that is true. If you are not getting enough sleep or getting poor quality sleep, your hunger hormones kind of get dysregulated, and the hormone that signals, oh, I'm hungry, will really rev up, while the hunger hormone that tells you, oh, I'm satisfied, I'm full, goes down. So they just go horrible directions on both ends. Getting good sleep just makes it way more easier for you to listen to your body and eat well and in good portions for a healthy weight. Not to mention, just for mental health's sake, sleep is so important for reducing stress, improving mood, and even improving our cognition, improving our memory, and helping us be creative. So if you are an adult over the age of 18, I highly suggest to really develop a solid nighttime routine, get enough sleep, and to get good sleep. And research suggests that that is at least 7 hours a night. And I know you're probably like, how can I get 7 hours of sleep? Just start, where you're at. Try to just get on a consistent schedule of when you're going to turn everything off, unwind, and kind of go from there. Number 7 is get some sort of movement in. Getting physical activity in is another pillar of health, because there are just so many benefits to moving your body and staying active and just not living a sedentary lifestyle. And believe me, I, at its core, am pretty sedentary just because of the job and the work that I do. So I do try to actively make it a point to move my body throughout the day, whether it's moving around or even back when I was working at the hospital, I would just in the bathroom do 10-15 squats, because why not? It just felt good, because my back was always so killer at the end of the day because of the chairs. But anyway, movement is so important, and adults need around 30 minutes of moderate physical activity a day for at least 5 days a week, and at least 2 days of strength training or resistance training a week. I know that can sound like a lot, but again, just start where you're at and do little things throughout the day, and just do movement that you enjoy, right? I don't want you to be slaving away on the treadmill because your favorite fitness influencer does that and she has her goal body. Exercise isn't really about what it's going to change your body into. Think about all of the other benefits other than the aesthetics of working out that exercise brings you. And don't get me wrong, trust me, I understand it is really rewarding to feel and see the difference of how your body changes. But again, that is a symptom of you taking care of yourself and doing the habits that promote your best self and best body. You don't always need to strive for the most calorically burning exercise and movement. Sometimes just walking every now and again throughout the day, or gardening, or even just playing with your kids or playing with your dog outside, it will be enough for you to kind of get out there and live that more active lifestyle. And again, there's other benefits to exercise other than aesthetics and how it could potentially change your body, but there's a lot of things that are working inside that are going to change and help you improve your overall health. Like, it's been obviously shown in many studies that exercise can help maintain a healthy weight, lower disease risk for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers, improve your balance and decrease the risk of falls, helps you maintain strong bones and muscles. And even on the mental health side of that, like, it really is so great for your mental health and helps you reduce stress and feelings of anxiety and depression and improve overall mood. And it could also help you sleep better. So if you are struggling with sleep, maybe it's a 2-in-1 that you really need to work on your activity levels and getting that little extra energy out. And yeah, maybe you'll sleep better. And lastly, you really need to work on body image. Now, this is a thing that I think a lot of people do miss out on, and I think it's so important to touch on body image throughout your food journey, because food does ultimately impact the way we look, and I think that's the main reason why we are so ashamed or feel guilty about eating certain foods, even though hunger and eating is a basic physiological function, just like going to the bathroom or breathing is. But obviously breathing doesn't affect how much, fat you gain, and neither does, going to the bathroom. So I think it's very important to work on body image. And throughout the journey, I just really want you to focus on your journey. Don't try to look at anyone else's. There's a really big difference on getting inspiration from other people that is motivating, but there's also that other side of the coin where you are stuck comparing yourself to that person. And if you aren't seeing the same results as them, or you are like, I don't look like them, and constantly comparing your life to them, that is really the thief of joy, and that's not going to serve you at all and really discourage you from keeping on going with the progress that you already made. So I really want you to focus on what feels good to you, what works for you, and keep your eyes set on the goal to become your best self, not Sally's best self or Katarina's best self, like your best self. And you can do this by set affirmations for yourself that really speak to you. And I know this sounds so fluff, trust me. I am like, okay, I can't just think that they're true when I know that they're not true. But rephrasing certain sentences that really resonate with you can really move mountains and help your mindset and stay engaged and motivated in your health journey without hating yourself. Because I always think about, like, there was one time my boyfriend really said, like, why suffer? And those two words really resonated with me, because I always felt like I naturally chose like the harder path just because, eating better and this whole journey of health is and can be a tough process to do alone first and foremost, but it's a long journey. And if you really think about it, like, you have your whole life ahead of you to become better, to improve your health, and to feel good. So why are you kind of hating yourself throughout this whole process, right? Give yourself some grace, give yourself some compassion, really celebrate and acknowledge your wins that you've done. And that is something that we do also in the community. And it really is like, no win is too small. It really helps people stay motivated and accountable. And if you are having a negative, bad body image day, trust me, we're all there. Even the most body positive people will have days or times where they just don't feel that great about their body, or they don't like the way that they look in these clothes. Reframe. What has helped my clients in the past is kind of the instance of like, it is what it is. And truthfully, like, your body image will adjust even just by you treating yourself well and realizing like, the goal is nourishment, the goal isn't perfection, and also realizing that there is no perfection. And you will get to that point, I promise you. You just gotta really work on the mindset shifts and reframe those negative body images into more logical reasoning. So this is really the gist of everything that I teach. So if you liked my balanced eating framework and want like a buddy support system to ask questions, gain inspiration, and help keep you accountable this year, I have a paid community community where I run monthly challenges, share recipes, and give away prizes like free meal plans and grocery shopping gift cards, to the most active and dedicated members going after their goals and crushing it, and as they should. Now, it is a paid community, but in all transparency, that helps support my channel. It helps me keep pouring out free resources and content for you, as well as if you are in the community, I give it back to the community through monthly cash prizes and free services to help people on their journey to balance. And it'll only get bigger and better the more members that are in. So the link is in the description box below if you're interested, but I promise you it's going to be the best investment that you're going to make in 2025. There's nothing to be ashamed about or feel guilty about putting money down in order to invest in your health. Like, I do believe that sometimes, like, you kind of have to put down something to risk it for the biscuit, you know what I mean? My most successful clients have really invested time, finances, and energy into creating the life that they've always wanted, and they've got the best results. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope this was super knowledgeable for you, and I hope I shared some tips that you could take into 2025. I cannot believe we're here. Like and subscribe if you want more content from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!